Blacklings, I don't think the Blacklings would be hit. I would not be surprised if some of their cards come off the list, in honest truth. Same with the Lightsworns, but I'd be very surprised if another Lightsworn card was limited or whatever. I would be surprised if Judgment Dragon was put down to limited or something, but obviously with Effect Veiler, Skill Drain and everything now, it's it's not too difficult to get around it, in honest truth. So, yeah. What else? Frogarts, well, I haven't really heard much about Frogarts ever since I heard Substitute Toad was banned, apparently. But they're still quite devastating. Obviously we've got 3 Trueborn Frog now. I wouldn't be surprised if Trueborn Frog's back to semied or even limited. Just because it's got no spells and traps, you can resurrect it, instant sacrifice for most monarchs, no problem. And it's quite easy to send to the graveyard as well with Foolish Burial and some of the other frog abilities and that. But as I said, I haven't really heard much about them, so the only card I can probably see is Trueborn Frog getting limited or something again. So that's the themed cards, and now we'll go actually onto the ban list, like cards that have been taken off the ban list and that. I think we'll start with Heavy Storm and Brain Control. Well, since we got Cold Wave in that, I would not be surprised if Cold Wave is banned and Heavy Storms come out to replace it, or even Giant Trunade, because I was discussing a few of these cards with Dark Magician 84 and Maxwell 72 last night. I would not be surprised if Giant Trunade and Cold Wave are well, obviously Giant Trunade is limited, but I would not be surprised if that's banned and replaced with Heavy Storm, or if Cold Wave is semied or limited and Trunade is banned and Heavy Storm remains on the list. Because, let's face it, we've got 3 Black Rose Dragon and Dark Hole and everything. We've got, as I said earlier, we've got 2 Mystical Space Typhoon, 3 Dust Tornado and 2 Raikou, which is enough to clear the field if you play it right. So as I said, I think Heavy Storm will either stay on the list or it will be swapped for either Giant Trunade or something else, but then again I don't know, because all these cards, apart from Cold Wave, can literally clear the backfield safe enough for you to attack with. I mean, Cold Wave just freezes them, but it still clears the field basically, unless because you can't activate any traps or spell cards at all till the next turn. So I would not be surprised if those cards are hit by the ban list. I don't know if they're going to be limited or whatever. I would not be surprised if Cold Wave is semied or limited. And same with Giant Trunade. I would not be surprised if it's banned and swapped around, or if it's just banned and that's it. So yeah. Dark Hole. Well, so we've got massive destruction in this format. 3 Black Rose Dragon. That's enough to completely reset the field to synchro on that. It's just that Dark Hole basically clears the field without any penalties or any downsides to it. I would not be surprised if that is a yo-yo card and it goes back onto the ban list, in honest truth. What else? Monster Born. I would not be surprised if Monster Born is a yo-yo card as well, goes back onto the ban list. Just because with all the new powerful monsters and that have been coming out now, it's quite easy to nick your opponent's shooting star and use it against him. Her, excuse me. Because I did that against the Egyptian Prodigy. I managed to send his shooting star to the grave and then Monster Born it, which means I could use its abilities against him. And since people are running maybe 2 or 3 copies of those kind of cards, it's quite easy to get them back from the graveyard basically, if you've got Monster Born and all that. So I would not be surprised if that is banned. I don't think it will be swapped out for something like Premature Burial, because Premature Burial it still can be easily reusable with a lot of the cards nowadays. So yeah, wouldn't be surprised if Monster Born is banned. Brain Control. I'm not actually too sure about that one. I'm not too sure. It would, if it does come off the list, limited, definitely. But again, I would not be surprised if it was still banned. but then again, you said we don't know. Sometimes the ban list throw really good surprises at us, so as I said, I do not know about that card in Honest Truth. What else? Just have a look quickly. Infinity Launcher. I think that would still stick at 1 because with the Thousand Eyes Dragon coming back out in May-April time with the new tin and that being released, it's going to make Infinity decks quite powerful again. So I think that would stay. If it goes to semi, I'd be very surprised. Black Whirlwind I think would stay at limited in Honest Truth. Again, I'd be quite surprised if it comes off and goes semis. What else? Chaos Sorcerer, I think possibly could go back to limited again, but then again I don't know. Same with Magic Cylinder. Magic Cylinder could possibly go back to 1 as well, just because it's a game-ending card if you play it right. So, and 2 of them's quite nasty, especially with the attack powers you can get monsters at nowadays. I mean, like Scar Red Nova, for example, you use a minimum of 3 tuners to get it out. You know, 1 for your Red Dragon Archfiend and then 2 to get Scar Red, and that's at 55 attack power already. So if you run into a Magic Cylinder with that, that's basically half your life points gone in one go. So I would not be surprised if Magic Cylinder is back to limited in Honest Truth. Mystical Space Typhoon. Now, depending on what they do to Trunade and Cold Wave and Heat Wave and that, I would probably be limited again, depending if, for example, Heavy Storm comes back off the list. If not, and Giant Trunade is banned, or Cold Wave is limited to 1 and that, I think it would still be at 2. I'd be quite surprised if it comes off the list, because, well, Dust Tornado is sort of the same. Dust Tornado and Mystical Space Typhoon are the same thing, except that they're obviously a trap card and a spell card. But I think, depending on what happens to those other cards, Heavy Storm and all that, I don't know what to expect from Mystical Space Typhoon, except for it possibly still semi, possibly limited, but I don't know. Now, Treeborn Frog, as I said, is unlimited now, but I wouldn't, as I said earlier, I wouldn't be surprised if it goes back to 1 or 2. Black Rose Dragon, I think that would be hit again, just because, you know, it resets the whole field, and if you've got 3 of them, you can do it 3 times, if you get the correct monsters out. Level 7s are not too difficult to sum out. I mean, with like the Dandelion debris strategy in that, very easy, and you get 2 fluff tokens as well, which protect you for an extra turn. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing, Dandelion. Where is it? There we are. Dandelion is semi-limited. Wouldn't be surprised if it goes down to limited again, just because of the debris combos and that, and you know, quick draws and everything. So wouldn't be surprised. Cyber Dragon. I hope that doesn't get hit. Well, I don't use Cyber Dragon personally, but my boyfriend, Chris Anime Guy, really likes the Cyber Dragon deck, and he was quite devastated when it got limited in that, so he couldn't play it properly. Mind you, he doesn't actually play in tournaments and that. He's a typical classic duelist who just likes to play free-for-all, so he'd probably play with the limited list and that, traditional format and everything. But I hope it doesn't get banned in Honest Truth. Not banned, limited or anything, because, I believe that 3 Cyber Dragons make a proper Cyber Dragon deck in Honest Truth. What else? Royal Decree. I wouldn't be surprised if that's semi-limited again in Honest Truth. Just because, if with all the good spell cards and that coming around, and all the good monster effects and that have been happening, you don't really need very many cards. I mean, most basic staple sort of trap cards are just literally the Mirror Force, Bottomless, Magic Cylinder, possibly Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning. So that's literally just 4 or 5 cards. I mean, I've only got 4 or 5 trap cards in my deck, or decks, sorry. But as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's semi or anything again. But then again, I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me either if it's still off the list and that. But yeah, I think that's everything we've covered at the moment, or that's everything I think I've covered, hopefully. Yeah, so yeah, that looks like that's everything I wanted to cover. My thoughts on that for the band list in the next format. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Again, as I said, this is all from someone who hasn't dueled in this format at all, so this is sort of probably a sort of typical view, mind you, but I hope you guys enjoyed that. And as I said, might be able to get some more duels and that up later on. Don't know when yet though, because obviously I said I want to test out the new deck and everything, my new Blue Eyes deck. No, I think that's everything for the moment. So thank you very much everybody for watching, and I'll see you guys again later. So take care. Bye.